The rain was hammering against the windshield when I slid into the driver's seat of my wife's car in that half-empty Chicago parking garage, the phone light trembling in my hand as I checked the glove box one more time. I wasn't supposed to be there. I was only borrowing her car because mine wouldn't start, just a quick errand, nothing more. But then my fingers hit paper. A folded receipt. Fresh ink. 2 entrees, signature cocktails, downtown reservation. My stomach dropped before my brain even caught up. We never went there. Not once. Not together. I sat there staring at the paper like it was going to rewrite itself, like it was some mistake I could laugh off. But the date, it was last Thursday. The night she told me she had late meetings at work. That's when I saw the name of the restaurant again. And I swear, in that moment, the entire world just went quiet. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. I didn't move for a full minute. Just sat there, engine idling, rain ticking like a countdown I couldn't understand yet. My wife, Claire, had always been careful. Too careful. But this receipt wasn't careful. It was careless. Almost like it wanted to be found. I told myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe a coworker dinner. Maybe a client meeting. But even as I thought it, I already knew. That restaurant wasn't business casual. It was candlelight and wine glasses. The kind of place you don't accidentally end up in. That's when it hit me. I wasn't just borrowing her car. I was driving through the ruins of my marriage without knowing it. And I still didn't know who she was with. I started the engine again, my hands numb, and pulled out of the garage. I needed answers, not excuses. The next morning, I watched Claire like she was a stranger living in my apartment on the north side of Chicago. She kissed my cheek, poured her coffee, talked about deadlines at her marketing firm like nothing had happened. Like her life wasn't split in two. Long night again. I asked casually. Yeah, she said without looking up. Client chaos. Client chaos. Right. I nodded like I believed her. But in my pocket, I still had that receipt. And I had already taken a picture of it. At lunch, I drove to the restaurant alone. Same table layout. Same lighting. Same exact signature cocktails listed on the menu. My throat tightened when the hostess said they'd had a reservation under Claire H. She didn't even hesitate. 2 people. Thursday night. 8:30 p.m. One of them was my wife. The other name she couldn't give me. I walked back to my car slowly, like my body didn't belong to me anymore. My hands were shaking, but my mind was starting to sharpen into something colder. That's when I checked her location history. She always said it was for safety. In case anything happens. I used to think it was thoughtful. Now it felt like a map to my humiliation. And there it was. Thursday night. Downtown apartment district. Not her office. Not a client site. A luxury building I'd seen before because one of her coworkers lived there. Mark Ellison. Her, just a coworker. That name started repeating in my head like a warning siren. Unease turned into certainty, and then into something worse. Clarity. That night, I didn't confront her. I smiled. I listened. I played the role of the husband who still believed her lies. But inside, something had already shifted. The man she married wasn't in that apartment anymore. He was gone, and someone else was taking his place. A quieter version. A more patient version. The kind that doesn't react. The kind that records everything. I opened a new folder on my laptop. Chicago Truth. Every message I could legally access, every shared bill, every timestamp, every inconsistency, went in. Claire started noticing something was off. You're being weird lately, she said one night. I looked at her over the kitchen counter. I'm just tired, I said. And I meant it. Tired of being lied to. But I didn't raise my voice. I didn't argue. I let her think she still controlled the narrative. That was her first mistake. The second was underestimating how much I already knew. I hired a lawyer the next morning. Not for drama. For preparation. Then I called the restaurant again and requested surveillance preservation through legal channels. The footage existed. The timestamp matched. 2 people entering together. Laughing. Comfortable. Too comfortable. Mark Ellison was now officially part of my file. The trap wasn't revenge yet. It was patience. Claire started slipping. Small things at first. Late replies. Nervous glances at her phone. A new password change she thought I wouldn't notice. But I noticed everything now. One Friday, I told her I was working late. Instead, I parked across from Mark's building. And I waited. At 9:17 p.m., she arrived. Same coat. Same hesitation. Same lie she'd told me 100 times before. Mark met her at the entrance like it was routine. That's when I stopped feeling hurt and started feeling calm. The kind of calm that comes right before impact. I sent one email that night. To HR at her company. To Mark's supervisor. And to my lawyer. Attached, receipts, timestamps, restaurant verification, and location data. No anger in the message. Just facts. Clean. Organized. Undeniable. By Monday morning, the silence in our home was different. Heavy. Claire kept checking her phone, but nothing was saving her anymore. At 11:03 a.m., her company called her into an urgent review meeting. At 11:07, Mark was suspended pending investigation. At 11:15, my lawyer called me. Start preparing, he said. This is going to move fast. Claire came home early that day. She didn't speak at first. Just looked at me like she didn't recognize the man sitting on the couch. What did you do? She finally asked. I stood up slowly. I borrowed your car, I said. That's all it took. Her face changed when she understood. Not anger. Not denial. Fear. For the first time. But I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. Everything was already in motion. The apartment felt emptier that night, even with both of us inside it. She stayed in the bedroom. I stayed by the window, watching Chicago lights blur in the distance like a city that didn't care what we'd become. The next morning, she was gone. Suitcase. Keys. Silence. Just like that. No argument. No apology that mattered. Only the echo of everything she tried to hide finally collapsing under its own weight. I kept the receipt. Still folded. Still real. Still proof that sometimes betrayal doesn't need a confession. It just needs time. And the right car to be borrowed. The end.